Okay guys, this video has been a long time coming. Been meaning to do this video a lot sooner, but I don't know. Been wanting to do a video on my Ontario pilot survival knife that I got 2 years ago. And since I've had the knife, it's been all across Australia, it's been all over Malaysia, all around the United States. I mean, this thing goes with me everywhere. Every time I go camping or backpacking or hunting, this knife is the knife I take with me. It's just such a great knife. Not just a great survival knife, but it's just a great knife, period. So before I take it out, I figured I'd talk a little bit about the sheath first, what I've done to it. It's got 20 feet of 550 paracord wrapped around it. I usually have it tied on here better, but I actually had it off the sheath, and I only just put it back on right now for the purpose of the video. So it's usually tied on a lot better than that. Goes around the back. The sheath, basic leather sheath, has a little bit of metal around the back. It's riveted to the leather. That's there to make it jump ready. So when pilots jump out of airplanes, if they have to bail out, parachute, whatever, the knife doesn't cut through the sheath and, you know, get them in the leg or cause an injury. But one of the, I guess, benefits, another benefit to having that is you have this convenient little pouch back here, and in that pouch I've put about 30 feet of 60-pound test braided Spectra fishing line, and yeah, so that's handy. I've also attached a little ringlet of fishing sinkers right here to, again, 60-pound test Breda Spectra fishing line. Just some little split shot weights, and these have been on here for 2 years. All the camping, all the backpacking, everything I've ever done, I've never had one fall off. So that's how well they hold up. That's how well the fishing line holds up. You know, it's been on there for 2 years now. It's a real tough knife. It comes with a little pouch with a sharpening stone. I stuck a ferro rod in there for starting fires, and behind the pouch I slipped in some fishing hooks. So yeah, this is a great knife. Has the little snap right here, keep the knife from sliding out. So that's the sheath for you. Now let's look at the knife. Now you might notice that my knife is all steel right here. It's lost the little powder coat to protect it from rust. I didn't take that off to make the knife look cool. When I got this knife, it had a horrible secondary bevel. The secondary bevel was real thick. It was horrible for anything, you know, if you wanted to find edge on it. It probably would have been a good chopper because the edge was so thick. But yeah, it was just horrible. So in order to get down to a fine edge, I had to grind off a lot. And I did it with a file. I didn't use a belt sander. I did it with a file because you don't want to take off a lot of metal with a belt sander, because you can heat up the steel and you can actually ruin the temper on the metal. So yeah, I did that all by hand with a file. It took a lot of time. It took me about a day and a half, but I finally got it, and it is really sharp now. It's just real sharp, real nice knife. Yeah, and you can see it's been used extensively. So yeah, it's a great knife. It's got the fuller right there to cut back on weight. A lot of people call this a blood groove. That's an improper term for it. Why would you have a blood groove on your knife? You're not going to leave it in the person long enough to let the blood drain out, and even without it, blood would still come out. This is called a fuller, and it's just basically a ground out piece of metal. It helps make the knife lighter as well as stronger, because when you look at it from this way, which you can't really see it, it creates kind of like a I-beam, like a little arch, and we all know arches are really strong, and so it strengthens the knife. As well as making it lighter. The most important thing is that it makes it lighter. That's the purpose of fullers on swords, knives. You know, that's where that comes from. But yeah, it has this little saw back right here. And there's a lot of debate about why I even have this. A lot of people have tried down wood. I've tried down wood. As you can see, there's little bits of wood still down in there. And it actually works okay on some types of wood. It's pretty good for notching and things like that. But a lot of people think it's just too thick, things like that. But they don't realize that this knife is a pilot survival knife. And it was made for cutting through aircraft aluminum. And that's... so it works really good on that. But not so much on other materials. Maybe lightweight aluminum cans, it doesn't work that good because it's so lightweight, you're kind of scrunching it up. And again, it's a little bit too thick. But for the purpose it was designed for, it was great. And it still has functions. And I really like that. So, I mean, why do away with it? It's not hurting you to have it there. So you might as well have it because it does have some uses. So yeah, this edge up here, I haven't ground down. I know one guy who has a Camillus made one of these. He ground his down so it wasn't sharp anymore, so he could baton with it. Mine I can still baton with it because it's sharp, but it's not that sharp. And what I use this for is for my ferro rod. So when you can see the little scratches right there going this way, when I'm starting a fire, I use that side of the knife. So that way I'm not messing up my primary edge right here. And so yeah, that's my knife. I've had it for about 2.5 years now. Like I said, it's been everywhere with me. Hunting, fishing, camping, backpacking. It's a really nice knife. Oh, how can I not mention this awesome butt cap right here? It's like a bolt. And I like that it's flat because you can take it and you can, start tapping your nail in, and then after you get a nail in, then you can switch around and start hammering it in like that. So if you need a hammer, if you need to pound anything, you could do that. And I have hammered some things every now and then. You can see the little marks on there. Try not to use it too much because I don't want the tang to loosen, and then I get like a loose nut. But thinking about it, if this is a soft peen tang, that probably hammering it would probably just tighten it even more. So I probably wouldn't loosen it. Probably just tighten it down even more. But either way, there's my Ontario Pilot Survival Knife. I will leave specs below in the more information section on like the size and everything. It's approximately a 5-inch blade. Yeah, I'll leave the specs and stuff like that below. But this is a great knife if you're getting into backpacking, camping, fishing. If you just want a good knife, this is just a great utility knife, not just survival knife. It's just great for everything. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's just the right size. And they're super durable. They've been around for who knows how long. Well, since the 40s, 1940s, since World War II at least. But yeah, they're great knives. And just to give you a little bit of a size comparison, I'll bust out the K-bar and so you can see it. The K-bar barely even fits on the camera screen. So I just zoom out a little bit. There you go. There's a size comparison of the two knives. There you go. But yeah, go out and get yourself one of these if you don't have one. Great knife. Later, I will add more videos of the knife being used, starting fires, doing a little bit of chopping through wood, cutting rope, just things you would use the knife for. You probably won't use it for chopping through wood, but people do. Even though it's not an axe, people still use it for chopping through wood, and it does surprisingly well for just a little 5-inch blade. So later I'll add some videos. I'll splice them together with this video, and you'll get not just a review, but like a demonstration of what the knife can do. There you go. just get some of these shavings onto the little tinder bundle. So that way they'll ignite once I go to strike it. And then I kind of put the ferro rod just down in there. And I just run the knife down it like that. And that kind of just pushes all the sparks right down into there. And there we go, got fire.
Oops. Oh man, you caught something. Good.
Nice, this knife is still nice and solid. Not loose or rattling. Hilt's good. Pommel's not coming off. And that nail is in there. Now I should be able to just, yeah. Okay, now let's see how it does on wood. This was originally made for aircraft aluminum, so it usually doesn't do that good on wood. Had a little bit of trouble on the nail, it was slipping, but once I got a groove going on the nail, it really took off. So let's kind of see how it does on wood. I'm hitting my hilt on the wood, so I'm not getting very far. I'm going about there. But as you can see, it's putting quite a good notch into that wood. So the sawback does work. Let's kind of see what the edge does. It's kind of dull right now, but let's just kind of see what it does. Works pretty good. Not bad for a little 5-inch blade. I have a 4x4. But yeah. And as usual, nothing's loose. It's all nice and tight, even after all the pounding. These knives are just tough.